Peter Haddock, and here I am in the Rokbak facility in Motherwell. And Kenny Price is here. You're the sales manager for the whole of the EMEA region for Rokbak. And we were looking just 6 to 7 weeks ago at the launch of this brand new brand. It's here now, Kenny. Tell us a little bit about it. It's a beauty, isn't it?
It is, and it's great to see. It's great to see in the future of the company in that way. And we see ourselves as rock solid, Rokbak. And this is why we're here today to talk about the machine and let you see a little bit about it and why we think it is rock solid.
UK manufacturing folks making this machine. And tell us a little bit about some of the features that we're seeing. One really strikes me is straight away we're in their new brand Stage 5 engine. Really important, isn't it?
It is, and again part of our company ethos is about sustainability and the climate, and we need to keep going forward with that, and the Stage 5 engines help us do that, and we've introduced them into the UK market and the wider European market as well.
We're looking at fuel efficiency now, aren't we, with the Stage 5? What are the types of savings, if you were to have put a Stage 4 in that, what are the savings that people are going to get?
Well, this is it, Peter, and as they've moved on to Stage 5, the benefit on the air pollution is one thing, but the efficiencies are the other. The fuel system that's on it's an extra high pressure fuel system, using multiple fuel burns on there, and it really helps with the efficiency and the power of the engine. With regards to some of the savings that we've seen in real world testing from previous models to this, is that we're seeing about 5 to 7% on the fuel savings.
And that is massive. Why is that massive, folks? Because unfortunately we have this big red diesel to white diesel issue coming down the line next year. If you can make those kind of fuel savings in a big truck like this, which is going to use a lot of fuel, that's going to be massive when the price of that diesel goes up, isn't it? And I'm just interested to know, will this run on HVO, the biodiesel as well?
It does. It's fully approved to run on the HVO fuel. It's the Scania DC9 engine that's in there, and the Scania models that we use on the RA30 and the RA40 are both approved to use on the HVO fuel.
Now, you've mentioned two models there, so 30, 40, I'm guessing 30 tonnes, 40 tonne, am I right? What's the scenario there?
That's correct. It's the two platforms that we run. So the RA30 is a 28 tonne payload machine, and the RA40 is a 38 metric tonne payload machine. And you see a mix in large projects such as HS2 that are coming through in the UK here. We're going to see both mixes of models on there, depending on what stage of preparation that job's at. And then we also see, depending on the global markets. Some markets are preferred for the larger trucks, going into more larger projects in the mines and the quarrying industry, and then the RA30, smaller size, is suitable more for those smaller construction projects that we need to work on as well.
And of course, you've missed out the rock solid nature of it, which is obviously, this is going to be in quarries as well, isn't it, the larger stuff, so it's going to be having all of that bashing around of material inside it, isn't it?
It is, and that's part of the structural strength. You visited the factory today, yeah. You'll have saw some of that production down there, and from this is Motherwell, Lanarkshire, but a good history and heritage of heavy industry steel making, yep. And that's part and parcel that comes through in our products here. The chassis is built in with additional structural integrity there for all the hard, arduous duty cycles that we'll see on the various projects that we work on globally, and also the body, the main part there for carrying the material, whether it's rocks in the back, whether it's overburden, different projects need different materials, and we're using Hardox steel there in the body.
Hardox, folks, if you don't understand what it is, it's the really, really strong steel, and basically it is so strong, but also means you can use less of it, so it makes the truck lighter, but it's really anti-abrasive, Hardox, and so therefore when you've got all of this material bashing into this machine, you've got extra skip wear there as well, haven't you?
It does, and that's part and parcel. One of the main structural features of this machine is we use the Hardox material in the body. We are one of the manufacturers leading with regards to how thick actually the standard body base is, and again that then gives us a wider use of the machine in the field with regards to the different types of material they can use as standard before we need to start looking at introducing body options such as additional wear plates for very highly abrasive applications and other things as well that we can work there with.
The one thing I want to talk about, and we'll have a little wander around in a minute, one thing that's really important to me with anything on site, and I get a bit serious here now, folks, is safety. You know, so what are we talking about on this machine as far as safety features? You know, it looks like there's a lot of glass in the cab from a visibility perspective, but what else comes with it?
And that's it. So you can see here one of the other additions that we made, the stage 5, we improved the mirror setup, moving them onto the posts, giving them a better stability, and also giving better visibility. They're using 3 mirrors and using that convex mirror, so to give the operator as wide a view of the machine surroundings that you can, and also we're fitting as standard reverse cameras on colour reverse cameras onto the truck as well.
And it looks like the access and egress is pretty robust.
Yes, and that's it. And you can also see lovely in our new Rokbak colours, the contrast handrails there, and also you'll see if we have a walk roundabout, some of the contrast on the first step there as well, just to give that clear indication of where the hand holes and the foot stands are.
That makes a difference when we're going into winter, folks, to make sure we don't slip and trip. That's one of the most important accidents to try and cut out on site. Those slips and trips can change people's lives, and so that's really important that we get that right. So come on, without further ado, let's go and have a look at some of those features. We're going to start by stepping onto the step, folks. Come with us. This is the higher visibility step, which we can get up, obviously 3 points of contact, and it feels, and as you go up, you can see that the handrails are in the right places.
Yeah,
you know?
And that's it. It's important for the operators, as you say, for the access, for the egress. They need to be comfortable, and you don't want them to have to be stretching too far when they're climbing in and out of the machine either. Yeah,
and I think, you know, when you look at the top here, you've got some really good matting there so that people can get that walk up and down, because obviously when we're on sites, you're coming in and out of mud all the time. So that's great. So when we're looking at the tyres and the setup here, what's the whole axle setup, and what are we looking at with the machine?
So one of the key features of our axles is paired in there with the drivetrain. So it's all very well we have this fuel efficient, powerful performing engine, but we need to be able to deliver that power basically into useful power, useful rim pull to give us that momentum when we're on site. So you've got the drivetrain reduction from the engine through the transmission down through our axles, and then on each hub for these we're using sealed, enclosed sealed brakes, oil cooled.
Right.
Again, it's going to give you better braking performance, but it's also going to get better brake life, and having them sealed and enclosed prevents the dirt ingress as well and the wear and tear on the brakes. Again, looking at that performance, safety aspect, and also the cost of ownership of the products.
And are we talking about retarder here within this when you're on site, when you're going down those hall?
We do. We have a dual retardation system on the trucks, both the RA30 and the RA40. Both benefit from having an engine brake and a transmission retarder. So depending on site conditions, steep the grades are, the operator has the option there. They can use one or the other, or both at the same time, for controlling the speed, because controlling the speed on those downgrades, apart from not then using our service brakes, which is of wearing parts, goes back to the service costs. It also gives the operator better control of the vehicle, so it is safer, but you also get the benefit in return of actually having more controlled haul cycles, so you're actually going to be more productive.
Especially important for me when you're looking at those wear parts, because the thing is, it's uptime. Everything has to be focused on uptime. You know, if we're going through breaks, if we're going to have to go into the maintenance sheds more often and we've not got these systems available, then that's going to be a big problem for the end user. So that's great to know. Let's go around the back so see if the cameras can see us, folks. One thing that strikes me immediately as I walk around here is, of course, the camera. That's really important part of the machine you talked about from a safety perspective, and the lighting array here. What are we talking, LED lights?
It is, it's LED lights, so again, longer lifetime, it's a safer, it's a brighter light, and also having that longer lifetime, you're spending less time having to replace bulbs, and it's just a better thing altogether for the customers in that regard.
So, are we talking Hardox there?
Hardox on the skip.
Yeah.
Hardox material.
Touching it right now. I can tell you what, I can't abrase that with my knuckles. It's certainly, that's certainly going to make a difference.
You'll have seen in the factory as well. When you've done that tour, we're using the latest robot welding technologies in the body.
Right.
As well,
okay. So that's literally, that robot welding is obviously going to improve the whole connection between every element of the skip, because that's something that's really important. That's a key fracture point within a machine, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, and it helps with the efficiencies within the factory also, and it's great to see that investment again from group company into the local business here and into the local economy for us.
So Kenny, we are inside the truck now. Talk to me about the operator elements to this truck and what they're likely to expect.
Well, for the operator, they have a air suspension seat here with multiple adjustments on there, so they can get themselves into the best operating position, but they can also change the dampening on the seat to give themselves the perfect comfort, whether they want a seat that's a bit firmer or a bit softer, depending on their preferences. Everything when it comes to the machine switches, the controls for our transmission, our body control lever are all within easy reach and ergonomically designed for the operator. The steering wheel itself has a telescopic function, again looking at just getting into that optimum position for each operator that we have operating our products.
So that's the Rokbak truck, folks. First time I've ever been to Motherwell. Thanks so much for letting me come here today and spending some time with me. The most important question, of course, Kenny, is how can people find out more, and how can they therefore find out how to get hold of one?
Straightforward, Peter. Rokbak.com, find your local dealer.
Rokbak.com, folks, local dealer. Kenny's got to get off and sell some more machines. See you later, Kenny.
Cheers, Peter.